Blog Talk Radio.
Off on another episode of Tarot Today Radio. I am your host, Dax Carlisle, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. For the past 12 years, we've been bringing you the world of tarot. And joining me, as always, my fabulous co-host. She is the Director of Communications for the Tarot Guild. And here she is, all the way from Amarillo, Texas, Mary Brown. Hey, Mary. Happy Psychic Saturday.
Hey, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday. How's it going?
Here we are again, and it's not only our last Tarot Today broadcast of April. It is, this is it. I can't believe it. Tomorrow's May.
Wow. Crazy.
Isn't that crazy? It's this year going? You know, it's going to be my birthday soon, and whenever my birthday hits, June 16th, I know we're halfway through the year, and so, that's my halfway demarcation is my birthday. Oh, wow. So as always, we do an open lines show with free tarot readings and our Psychic Spin episode on the final Saturday that we're broadcasting. And depending on, sometimes there's 4 Saturdays, sometimes there's 5 Saturdays, so you never know where exactly it's going to be, but it's the last one. Look for the last show. Yeah. And you can join us. You can call in right now. In fact, there's a lot of people calling in, so get your spot in the caller queue now. If you're listening live, just dial 714-816-4628. Press number 1 as soon as you get through. That lets us know you want to be live on air with us, and it puts you up in the caller queue in the order that you called in. So you want to get in there, get your spot, and keep that spot. Don't hang up and call back in, because you're going to get pushed to the bottom, So this is the time to get your spot now, 714-816-4628. You can also join us in the chat room on the Tarot Guild website, thetarotguild.com. Just click chat. You can also open a tab in your browser and just type in thetarotguild.com/chat. And that'll pop you right over there. I see Sharona in there. I see Charlotte in there. I think is that Jason? I think Jason. Oh, yeah, Jason's in there. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Mary's in there. I'm in there.
Yeah, so I am trying. I deleted the wrong message. I'm I'm just trying to say hello, everyone, and I can't spell it, and I went to delete that, but then I deleted something else, and then I finally deleted that, but then I couldn't bring back the something else. So, Sharona, Jason, Charlotte, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I can't type today.
Oh yeah, I can always tell when you're messaging me on Messenger, and I'll see things typing, and then I'll see things disappear, and then something else comes. And I'm like, oh, Mary's having some difficulty.
Technical problems.
I'm having technical problems here. Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so join us in the chat because you can chat with everybody else. about what's going on in the show. You can put your 2 cents in. You can ask for a mini reading right there in the chat room. Of course, we would rather talk with you live on air. So if you can, dial in 714-816-4628. Press 1 as soon as you get through and hold on to your spot in the caller queue. Oh, that rhymed. I didn't plan that. Anyway. Also, I wanted to mention that if you want to get a hold of Mary or I in between shows, you can always find us, of course, on our Facebook groups. We have the Psychic Talk Radio group. We've got the Tarot Guild Facebook group with almost 7,000 people on it. But the easiest way is to just go to our pages on thetarotguild.com. So I'm at dax.thetarotguild.com. Mary's at mary.thetarotguild.com. We try to make it really easy for you there. You can communicate with us, send messages. You can book readings with us. I do numerology reports for people. It's all there on our pages. Go check it out. If you want to do like a private session, right, Mary? Sometimes people don't want to, air their dirty laundry live on air with 10,000 people listening.
Well, it's that. I always think of it like it's really good. The mini readings are terrific to give you a sense of, connection or maybe something. A lot of times, great readings just, kind of are like kind of validating what we sort of know but maybe aren't sure about. But getting a private one-on-one session, I think, is great because it allows you to really dive into the whys and the hows and the where do I go from here.
Absolutely. It's all about, setting up boundaries. And that actually dovetails nicely into the numerology of the day because the whole date reduces to 4, the number of structure. And I got the 2 of Cups for my card of the day today, and basically I'm going to say that you should spend time doing something you love. Maybe there's this project that you want to work on, or spending time with people you love. Spend some time with those that are you feel a deep connection with. Could be romantic partners, but it could also just be friends and stuff like that. And then keeping the numerology in mind, look at how your relationships are structured. What are the boundaries? Are your boundaries good? Do you need to put some boundaries up in some of your relationships? Take a look at that today. And then if you're working on a project, something that you really are enjoying and you want to put out in the world, today is the day to look at the structure of that, of creating foundations. What card of the day did you get, Mary?
Oh, I got a card from the Magical Times Empowerment Cards by Jody Bergsma, and I posted it on my social media channels, also on the Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. The Psychic Talk Radio Network Facebook group. Find that on Facebook by going to psychictalk.net/Facebook. We have a page and a group. Like the page, join the group, join the conversation. And the card is just beautiful. It's the Dreamer card, and it shows this beautiful person holding this white dragon, and there's all these dragons flying in the background and this sort of celestial kind of look to it. And it's about our dreams. Our dreams have chosen us. It's time to connect with the dreamer in you, awaken the dreamer in you, and remember that you have dreams for a reason, and there's a purpose to them. And shut out everybody else's opinions and any doubts in your own mind, and tap into that dreamer inside of you and explore that. Let that, if you follow Dax's advice that he got today with the numerology and the card of the day, set those healthy boundaries so that you can freely explore the things that you want and your dreams.
Oh, I love that.
That's the card of the day.
Sounding great. And so we also have the psychic spin. Hey, Mary, do you want to tell folks, all the new folks, what the psychic spin is about?
Yes. So once a month, at the last Saturday of the month, our last show, we do our psychic spin episode where we ask the big questions. The questions like, are robots going to take over the planet? Is AI taking over the planet? Why are we here? To begin with, those larger questions, not the mundane everyday, like, oh God, are they going to call me? Do I have to do this? Is my coworker insane? The normal stuff. This is beyond that. These are the big questions. And just like, you might watch on TV where people are talking about, something on the news. It can be about, big trending topics as well. We get to pull tarot cards on it instead of giving you the old, the same old canned analysis that we get from most of the major media sources these days. We get to get some insight from the universe by pulling tarot cards on it. It's a lot of fun.
We get to do the spin, but we get to do it psychically, and thus psychic spin.
Yes.
And you said one of the things we've done in the past is, why are we here? Well, today we're going to do how are we here. But before we get to that, Mary, real quick, I want to mention that everybody listening, whether you're listening live or you're listening in archive later on, we do this every month. So if there's a big question you want us to look into, let us know. We can always pick something, but we'd much rather have the audience let us know what you want to hear about, and we can pull cards on that. Yep.
Yes.
So how did we get here?
It's so... Let us know for sure. And also, next Saturday there's a Rock for That and doing a bibliomancy episode with James Rickliffe on, more spiritual, more philosophical questions. So let us know about that too, because we want your questions. We want to know what you want to know. Okay.
Awesome.
What were you saying?
Yeah. So I was just saying again, how did we get here? Because this was sparked by a few things. First, I saw an article about panspermia and did microbes or life or somehow travel here on asteroids 3.8 billion years ago, and then I can't put my finger on it off the top of my head. I was looking at that article today, and I was trying to remember. There was a movie or two that I tend to just binge watch a lot of stuff, and there was a movie or two I watched that it was talking about panspermia, and that's how life began here on Earth. And then, Mary, I brought it up to you. You said that you had something too.
Oh yeah,
synchronistically.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, it's so funny. It's like you brought it up to me today, but yesterday, as I often do on Fridays, I'll admit this. Full disclosure here, I tend to binge watch Ancient Aliens on Fridays on the History Channel. And one of the episodes I watched just yesterday was about this theory of panspermia. Fascinating. Synchronicity.
Yeah, and it's been around for a long time. It's just like the last couple of weeks, it's been popping up in my consciousness because, I saw those movies, and then I saw that article this morning, and then there was the synchronicity with you had just watched the Ancient Aliens, and it's like, oh, wow. It's like the universe is saying, we should pull some cards on this. So you want to pull some cards on this?
Let's do it. So,
okay.
What are we asking? Is panspermia, is the theory of panspermia accurate? Is that really what happened?
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me. And, of course, I'm using Grand Lux here, doing a little shuffling.
shuffling.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. I'm using the sadly out of print Ludi Lestat Tarot, and wow, so the cards that come up here are so interesting. It's really like 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 of wands, 6, 7, 8. That's weird. And then we have the Knight of Cups overlooking everything. He's racing on his horse. It's like, I'm spreading the DNA. All over the place. So look, I feel like, hey, we're onto something with this, but there's something lacking because the last card is the Four of Cups. What's being overlooked in the theory? There's something being left out. You know what I feel? It's all wands and cups energy here, and so the two things that are left out is the swords and the earth. I feel like part of what's missing in the theory is really accounting for what the earth did with those things dropped by a meteorite, so you drop the DNA down or whatever, the essence of life, and the earth itself probably interacted in some way to create all these different creatures and everything, so maybe the theory doesn't fully account for that. And then also the swords missing, we're not talking about the intentionality of it. If there was a thought, what we have in our various ideas is that, everything began, we have the idea of logos. Everything began with the word, and I associate words, too, with the sword suit. That's just my association, maybe. I'm not sure why I do that, but it's there. I believe it. I think that's the two missing puzzle pieces is what the earth did with it and the original intention or thought that happened. So maybe there is, it leaves room at least for the idea of there being, some sort of intentional reason that it burned, maybe. I don't know. What are you getting?
Oh, yes, I feel the same way. I'm getting a lot of the same things here. I also got a lot of wands and cups, and I got the Justice card. And the Justice card in the Grand Lux, she's kind of floating above the ocean. And then in the Two of Cups, there's the ocean behind in the scene, and that's where this was supposed to have taken place, the primordial ooze, in the oceans, as it were. And I love your point on the intentionality. We're talking right now about, because that article, it was like, did 3.8 billion years ago. But, we're also not thinking about, well, wait, is it still happening? And was there intentionality behind it as well? One of the things that I watched recently that involved this was actually a really old Outer Limits episode. I watched it on YouTube.
Ooh.
You can actually watch Outer Limits on YouTube. I kind of binge watched like 3 or 4 of them or 5 of them, and one of them it was this exact thing. Only it was not creating life on Earth, but rather transmitting to other parts of the universe. So a race sent out on purpose their RNA. All galaxy just send it out on asteroids on purpose in the hopes that it would land somewhere and that there already be intelligent creatures there, and the RNA infected them and got into their brains. Yeah, and they all, there was like multiple people. I think it was, during the war, and these people actually got shot, and and they were supposed to die, but they didn't die, because some of the RNA got onto the bullet and got into their lodged in their brain, and they were taken over, and these 4 different people with no control of over what they were doing went out and did all these things separately that came together as a project, which ended up they created a spaceship for us to go out and to where the aliens that originally sent the RNA came from. So there's that intentionality part of it. Was it on purpose? I don't think so. Not if we're talking 3.8 billion years ago. That's my feeling. Someone might be doing that now. We may do that in the future. I just don't think. I think it was much more basic before life was even conceived. In fact, when I look at the cards, when I ask it as a yes/no, I'm getting 3 no's and 2 yeses. And I feel that what's going on here is it's saying, no, not exactly like what we think, the hypothesis that's been put forth. But there is some element of truth to it. And speaking of elements, it's more elements came to Earth and got in our oceans, along with what was already there. So not fully formed DNA pictures, RNA hitching a ride on an asteroid, but rather the building, the smaller building blocks, the proteins and enzymes and so forth, coming and mixing with ours that was already here, or maybe initiating the creation of the enzymes and then the RNA and then the DNA and then life. That's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah, there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I did, when I was pulling these cards, actually, I got a card that fell out. And it was the 10 of Cups.
Mm.
And I got to be honest with you, I'm looking at this card and I'm just not feeling it. Like, what's your thoughts? Why would the 10 of Cups fall out? Why would we get what's with the 10 of Cups? I'm not getting it
the 10,
myself.
Yeah, the 10 of Cups, I mean, usually to me, it's like just add water, right? For one thing, like here's the drops from outer space, and just add water, because there's not a lot of, we don't know, right, how much water is really in the cosmos, but we know that in the search for planets that could have life, water is like the number one thing we're looking for, and it's such a big thing here on Earth.
All the life here, I just wanted to point out, like 60 to 90% made of water.
Yeah. And that's maybe what triggered it. It's like there's the 10 of Cups, that's that big ocean. That's all the water you can get in the tarot. That's what I like to say about it. It's like this is as much hydration as they're going to get, but it's also, the other thing is, what do we connect water to? We connect it to the fluidity of emotion. So again, it's like, was it, is this, if you want to get like, more metaphysical about it, are we made of love? And was love the missing ingredient? And what is love exactly? We don't, it's a little bit.
I did get the 2 of Cups.
Ambiguous. Yeah. And you got the 2 of Cups too. So it's like all that love. I got the Knight of Cups. And then at the end, I got the 4 of Cups. Like, okay, but we're missing something. It's like, and there's more water right there with your 10 of cups falling out. You know how they say, if what falls to the floor comes to the door.
Yeah.
So it matters when that happens.
Well, here's something else that I'm seeing is in the in Chiro's version here in this particular deck, you got the 2 cups and 2 hands. A hand is coming out of each cup, and they're grasping each other's hand, right? And then back behind it is this vast ocean. And it's almost like the 2 things had to come together, what came in and what was already here. And then the last card, and remember you said you got a lot of wands. I got the 5 of wands. I feel like there was a struggle there for dominance.
Yeah, well, I got
somehow.
The 7 of wands, and that's the same kind of, vibe to it, right?
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of this. So,
yeah.
And like what you first started saying, when you first looked at the cards and you were talking about basically how there's things missing from the hypothesis.
Yeah.
But there's a grain of truth there. That's what we're getting on here.
Yeah. And I keep looking at this 6, 7, 8 of wands, and I'm thinking 6, 7, 8. It's like what they, it's what a choreographer would say. It's like, okay, 6, 7, 8, and jazz hands. Maybe not a choreographer would actually say a lot, do that many jazz hands, but still, it's like it's a dance. It's a dance of what came to Earth on, hitching a ride on a meteorite or whatever, with everything that was already here, and all that water just made it happen, I think. And there's more to it. Yeah, there's missing elements to the current theory, but they're on to something.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. So there you go, folks, the Psychic Spin for April. And if you have ideas for May's Psychic Spin, get hold of Mary or I and let us know, because we would love to ask your questions of the tarot. Those big things. Go ahead.
Also, let me know something before next Saturday when James Rickliff and I are doing spiritual questions and philosophical questions using bibliomancy, using his Soul's Journey Tarot book. I need your help, y'all. Get all spiritual and philosophical and send me a question.
You know what would be cool to do is a psychic spin on the future of tarot, and have a few other people join us. Like Sharona, Gary, Corby, Pamela Steele. Have some people join us and pull cards too, and make like a psychic spin party where we get a lot of great information, because it's not just the 2 of us. Wouldn't that be fun to do?
That would be fun. Yeah.
Awesome sauce here. I'm shuffling. So before we go, we're about to go to the phone calls, folks. So hold on to your spot there. And if you haven't called in, this is when you want to call in, because we're going to start taking calls at 714-816-4628. But right before that, let's check in with Mary here. You have the upcoming shows on the Psychic Talk Network.
Yes, I do. So this week on the Psychic Talk Radio Network, we have some great shows coming up. Our next show is going to be Monday, May 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's the Wisdom of the Soul Show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And that will be followed on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 hour later, 2 p.m. Eastern, with the Spiritual Guidance Radio Hour with angelic channel and healer Catherine Hahn, and she's going to be giving free on-air guidance. And then I will be back next Saturday, May 7th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, there's a rock for that, and I'll have my special guest, James Rickliff, and we'll be doing bibliomancy with the Soul's Journey tarot book that he wrote. It's one of my absolute favorite tarot books, plus doing free crystal mini readings. But yeah, send me a question. We're going to be using bibliomancy, talking about how you can use bibliomancy as well with really any book that you want to.
That's fascinating.
But it's fun, and I feel like everybody's done it to some extent, right? Where you just open a book, But there are, different ways to approach it. There's different practices, and it's one of the oldest forms of divination. I think the first record of it, that's most associated with it is, Augustine. That's how he converted to becoming a Christian, St. Augustine, because he opened the Bible to a page, just stuck his finger there, read the passage, and it's like, okay, I'm in. Maybe it didn't go down quite like that, but that's what we've got coming up on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. You can find all of our shows listed by going through psychictalk.net/upcoming. Back to you, Dex.
A lot of great stuff coming up. Yeah. I did want to mention Sunday, May 8th is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And Sharona will be doing her show, Magic Universe, and she's going to be talking about auras, plus having open lines and free tarot readings all show long. Yeah, auras on Mother's Day. So, call in with your mom and get a reading from Sharona. That's May 8th, folks, coming up Sunday, May 8th. Just wanted to mention that. Also, what's going on at the Tarot Guild, just want to mention that we just had that great workshop with Gary Karp, how tarot readers can make a difference in the world and make money doing it. So there's a lot of great, the business of tarot information in that workshop, and the replay is available right now. It's free to all of our premium members. Remember, premium membership is just $1 a month, folks. We charge $12 annually, $1 a month. You'll get that workshop. It's worth the cost of admission, just that workshop. It's such great information for those that are trying to, start or build their tarot business. And but you get all of our workshops all year long. In fact, if you go over to thetarotguild.com, you'll see the banner for Gary's workshop that you can click on for the replay, and right below it is the free workshops banner. It's like a classroom, and just click here button, and it'll take you over. You'll see our full list. We have a whole bunch of workshops available right now. That instant access. You can watch them anytime you want, and then you'll also see our list of upcoming ones. I know Sharona has one coming up on Sunday, May 15th, Tarot Magic. So that's going to be great. And Tarot and Dreams with Brenda Elizabeth on Sunday, May 22nd. So there's a couple of them, and you can see the whole list over there. In fact, we're getting into, the second quarter, coming up on the third quarter. Oh, my God. So we're going to be getting dates for some of the workshops that aren't dated quite yet. Also, when you join the Guild for $1 a month, you're able to get certified. You don't have to take our course. You could, if you've been reading for years, you can get certified as a CTR. We have I just certified three people. We've got another one or two in the works as well. So that's another benefit. Plus, of course, you get your membership certificate and all the other benefits listed there on the Join the Guild page, join.thetarotguild.com. You can just go over to the website, thetarotguild.com, click Join the Guild, read about everything that you get as a premium member for $1 a month. Just the workshops alone are worth that, right? And you can also enroll in my course. If you're brand new to tarot, you can enroll in my tarot and numerology course for $100 off. So go check that out. All righty. So let's see. We're going to go to the phone lines. And Here we go, Mary.
Awesome.
First up looks like area code 330 has been waiting the longest. Hello, area code 330. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Leslie from Holly Springs, Mississippi.
It's Leslie.
Hi.
Mississippi.
Yeah, I moved here from Manhattan, Kansas 2 weeks ago, and I started my new job 2 weeks ago Monday, and it's going along well. I'm still being seen into the position slowly.
Well, that's good. It's going well. What did you want us to take a look at?
Yes. How I'll perform this position over the next year to 18 months.
How you're going to do in that position. Dax, do you want to go first, or should I go first? What should we do? Sounds like Dax. Okay. Well, I'm going to go first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute the whole time. Go ahead, Mary. Shoot.
Like, what should we do?
I was talking and no one was hearing me. Yeah.
How funny. Okay, so how are you going to perform in this over the next year to 18 months? With a Page of Pentacles is the first thing that comes up, which is good. You're going to learn the ropes, right? You're going to progress. We have the Sun card, Ace of Pentacles, 3 Cups. This is all good stuff, right? This is learning the job, even if you know the job, learning how they do it, how to do it there. The Sun card, really... this is a positive experience. The 3 Cups, you might make friends on the job as well. The one thing that it's saying you need to pay attention to is this 5 of Swords. Okay, so 5 of Swords, 5s. Dax can tell you all about the numbers. 5s to me often represent like a challenge, or kind of something we have to deal with. 5 of Swords in particular talks about limitations. And it's that sense of boundaries and limitations, and the thing that's really important to keep in mind, because the swords are about the mind, is that it's not about breaking the rules. Sometimes you may feel, a bit confined, or like things aren't quite fair, or it's like a tilted playing field, so to speak. But really learn how far you can go. What are the limitations? Once you know what the limitations or what the boundaries are, then you can go beyond them without getting in trouble. So it's just saying, that's part of what you should be focused on. It's like, okay, what is really everything I can do in this capacity? What are the, where's the line, if there is one? And once you become aware of all of that, the Sun card is great because it's about, bringing our things to light, our awareness. Then, I think you're going to do great over the next year to 18 months with this. But definitely, know everything you can about it. Discover it. Let's see what Dax is getting.
Yes, and I agree. I got the 10 of Cups, which we got in in the Psychic Spin segment. Yeah, same card. I swear I shuffled, folks. I shuffled a lot. Anyway, it popped up, and it's like, hey, hearth and home. Within 30 days, you're going to feel, Leslie, like you've always been doing this. It takes about 30 days, maybe a little bit longer. Some people 60 to 90 days, but typically in a new position, within 30 days you start getting comfortable. 60, 90 days, it's like old hat. Just hitting on that 5 that you mentioned, another aspect of 5 is change, Mary. And so obviously this is a big change. Okay, so what to focus on? All the cards I got, Mary, are cup cards. All cup cards.
Wow.
So a couple of things come to mind as I look at the card. I did get the 2 of Cups again, like I did for the Psychic Spin. And, it's like looking at that card with the hands coming out of the goblets and then holding each other's hand, it's all about cooperation. Regardless of the logistical or technical difficulties as you move forward, always focus on the interpersonal relationships. That's what actually it's not really the job. It's the atmosphere that makes fit for you more than anything else. You know how, especially since the Facebooks and the Googles of the world came into existence, Mary. The last 20 years, it's all been about corporate culture, and not just we need someone to do X, Y, Z, hire a person to do X. It's more than that. It's what's the corporate culture like? Is it set up for success? Okay, and you can set yourself up for success by focusing on that. And also with it being so many cup cards, Leslie, I'm getting that it's about your own emotional well-being. It's about being emotionally satisfied in what you're doing, not just, money or anything like that. So moving forward, you want to focus on the positive, on it developing into that, which in the cards, the way I have them laid out and what showed up, it ends up at that 10 of Cups, so that you're in that nice, warm, homey feeling place with this new position. I hope that helped you out, Leslie. We got to move on here. Got a whole lot of callers. Wow. 714-816-4628. We're going to go over to the next caller that's been waiting the longest. It looks like area code 610 is the caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Are you there? 610? Going once, going twice. Okay, so we're going to put them back on hold and go to the next one. Area code 215, that's Philadelphia. Caller, 215, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Great.
I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
And what's your name, hon?
My name is Serena.
Hi, Serena.
Hi, Serena.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm looking about my financial. Is it going to change?
Is your financial situation going to change?
Yes.
What else can we ask, Mary, to make it more empowering for Serena?
Is it going to change for the better? But how are your finances going to be going forward?
How?
It's better because it's not a no. Like, in what ways is it changing? Change is inevitable.
Yeah, I went on this whole diatribe with someone recently. I think it was one of our applicants. I was doing their test reading. And I was talking about how, I used to be all into, 20 years ago, all about the, making the empowering questions, don't do yes, no. And now I've flipped the other way. I normally always just go with the yes, no. But I felt like with this particular time with Serena's question, it's like, well, how does that move her forward, though? That's the thing.
Well, I don't think it's my job to empower people, so I don't look at it that way. I look at it this way: like, she's asking my financial situation, is it going to change? And I feel like with that question, the answer is yes, but we want to know how, because nothing stays the same, nothing's static. That's how I look at it.
Exactly. I mean, I got the Tower card, which is probably where you're feeling right now. A little shaky on the foundations there. And then I got the Six of Cups. Again, with the Cup cards, I got the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So 6 is success and 8 is abundance. I mean, it looks fantastic. Now, the Six of Cups is the nostalgia card, and that would be the how. Okay? And so to me, it's like it's hinting at your focus might be in the wrong place. And what it's saying is, to get a handle on this, you need to think way back. I mean, in this particular version of the card, there's a girl on a swing. She looks to be in the, 7 to 8, 9 range. Think back to that era and what made your eyes light up. You really should be focusing on not just the next job, not just how's the money going to come in kind of thing, but what really you're passionate about, because that all leads to the money, you see. And that's what's showing up here. But let's see if Mary has any more insight. What are you getting, Mary?
Well, instead of the Tower, I got the Devil card, and to me there's similar feelings that it can kind of evoke, but, it's kind of the sense of like, look, there's a sense of like, oh, what is this? What is this thing that's holding me back? Why aren't my finances just flowing? Why do I have to, strife? Why do I have to work so hard? The Ten of Wands comes up like, there's been a lot of heavy lifting. There's been a lot of burdens, and you're just sitting there like the Seven of Pentacles that also comes up here thinking like, okay, where's the benefit of all that effort, all that energy, all that time? And I have the King of Cups right in the center of all of that, and often when the Devil card comes up, it's like, what is it? It's sort of like the thing that we don't have control over, right? Is there something that we have an attachment to that gets in the way? And that can be anything, really. With the Ten of Wands in the past position, it seems like, there's maybe an attachment to taking on a lot. Like if you find yourself like spread too thin, that might be an attachment to like taking on everything, having everything on your shoulders. I do think the change is going to be a positive one. I think it's going to take a little time, like maybe 3 months or so. We have the Three of Cups in the future position, and that's a card, a lot of different energy where we're like, hey, I'm smiling again. It's weird, but I just feel like smiling now, and I feel like that's not where you're at right now. And so to get to that sense of like, I'm not, I don't have that burden constantly of like the financial situation. The King of Cups is right at the center of things, and so it really is about like being able to sort of do things that nurture ourselves and make us feel like we're revitalizing ourselves. And even though we're talking about finances, there's so much emotion coming up here that it's saying that like, okay, if we change the way we are feeling, it's not like you have to change the way you're feeling about your finances even. Just change the way that you are feeling every day. Find one moment in the day to smile or to laugh or to, look at something beautiful even. And believe it or not, that gets the monkey off our back, that we see with the Devil card. That helps us feel freer and looser, and then ideas start coming in, and we get things we get excited about, and everything else, finances included, follow that flow, follow that light. So that's what I'm getting.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I hope that helped you out, Serena.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend there. Going to see who's been waiting the longest here. Looks like area code. Oh, it's jumping around. Okay, looks like 310. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Vince. I'm calling from New York.
He's in New York.
Yes.
I thought you were in Los Angeles. I'm like 310.
Well, yeah.
Well,
310 is West Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, I did live in Los Angeles, and I was living in Culver City at the time, or close to Culver City.
I love Culver City, the home of the Munchkins, right? That hotel, the Culver Hotel where the Munchkins stayed. I don't know if you ever visited that.
Yeah, that's
so what did you want
to? That's that hotel that's really, really super thin, right on the very corner by the studios there.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah. Yeah, the weird one.
Yeah. 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 In fact,
so what did you want to look at?
Well, I filmed in an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia in the Culver Studios. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I used to go to Culver Studios to do like on-set visits and interviews. So, hey, we were in the same stomping grounds.
Yes, we were. I'm hoping to return there one day soon. In the meantime, I'm calling because the last couple of months I've been jumping from one job to another. I got a job at Anheuser-Busch in Newark, New Jersey, and I left that because I got offered a full-time position at a company that makes drywall. I lasted one day and I quit because it was such a horrific place to work. So right now, currently, I'm working. I just started a job this week at a Coke plant in Hartford, Connecticut. But I do have a job interview with a company called Ball Corporation in Saratoga Springs. They make cans for like the breweries and soda companies and stuff like that. And that's coming up on Monday. So I work nights at the other place. So as soon as I get off work, I'm heading right over there for the interview. And I'm wondering if they're going to offer me a position there. Or if I'm going to stay at Coke.
Right. Are you going to stay at Coke, or are you going to get this position in Saratoga Springs?
Yeah.
I think you're up, Mary.
I think it's... Yeah, okay. So let me do my either-or spread. Okay, so taking a look at staying at Coke, Saratoga Springs, staying at Coke, Saratoga. Okay, so when we look at this idea of staying at Coke, not crazy about that. Look, I think that there's a chance that you are going to get offered this position in Saratoga Springs. I get the World card, the Two of Pentacles comes up here. So had you thought of like holding down two jobs at all? Would this be like something where either you like do this part time maybe with it's a card of fluctuation and juggling, having a couple different balls in the air. So I feel like it's on the table, it's part of it, but you might have something else going on. When I look at this the working at Coke, it's okay. It's okay. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, that's fine. There may be even additional opportunities working at Coke, but we have the Devil card. So it's almost like what's the downside of it?
Right.
There might be like something where you feel like, this is like, a bit of an obstacle, if I stay here too long, which is, I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I think that, you could easily get offered the job in Saratoga Springs, but I feel like you're going to be adding something to the mix. It won't be just doing that job. But let's see what Dax gets. Maybe he's got more insight.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's so funny, Mary, you were saying doing your either or, and I was already doing that, laying out cards for both.
Awesome.
And I was like, wow, we are so in sync. And, I got nearly identical what you got. I got a lot of two cards. So the High Priestess is a two of Swords, 2 Wands. There's all these twos. And I'm like looking at these twos and I'm like, what am I missing here? And then that's when you said maybe for a while anyway, you might be things. And I'm like, oh, my God, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's like that's almost what this could mean because, it just – it's the feeling I get. But now when I look at the two choices as choices, what I'm getting, like the Pepsi one wasn't it Pepsi or was it Coke?
Coke.
It's actually Coke.
You're going to start a war.
It's funny that you brought up Pepsi because I used to work at Pepsi in Albany, New York, and I got fired from that job. And because I was blamed for something that I didn't do. Now, here's the funny thing.
Pepsi popped in my head.
This happened a little over a year ago. But the job that I was doing at Pepsi, nobody else wants. And I just talked to somebody who used to work there that was my best friend. And he told me that everyone who was on that job has just recently quit because they're forcing people to do the job. They're forcing people a lot of overtime, and they don't want it. And over the last 6 months, I keep having recurring dreams that they're almost at the edge of calling me and offering me my job back.
Mm-hmm.
And
that could be why Pepsi.
That
could be why Pepsi popped in my head. But let me just finish up, okay? So on the Coke side of things, what I'm getting is that it's just like what Mary said. It's okay, it's saying you're going to make money and it's going to be fine. Now on the what was the other one? Saratoga?
It's called Ball Corporation. And they make cans for all the soda companies and beer company,
Now on that one, I'm seeing what I'm seeing on that one is I'm seeing there's going to be more opportunities than with Coke, and then also that it's more emotionally satisfying for you. It will be more emotionally satisfying. So that's that's the differences between the two. You really can't go wrong. You're going to make money at this, you're going to make money at that, So if they offer it to you, again, you have to make a choice. And that's why the Two of Swords is coming up is, you're going to have to make a choice, but maybe not. Because there's that whole thing we were just talking about. Maybe you could kind of like do both for a little bit, But ultimately you have to make a choice. And, the better choice seems to be the Ball Corporation. But, it's really up to you.
Yeah. Well, I won't be able to do both because the Ball Corporation, at Coke, I'm working like 5 or 6 days a week at this point. I just started.
Gotcha.
The Ball Corporation, I won't be able to do both jobs because the Ball Corporation, it's like it's 12-hour shifts, so you're 3 days on and then 3 days off type thing. So because it's a 24-hour operation. And now, the other thing that you touched on that there's two different job type things happening is I'm doing some writing right now. I've written one book that I'm trying to get published, and so far no one wants to touch it because they fear the repercussions. It's the reality behind Teamsters and the evil ways and their stuff. But the other thing is I'm writing a couple of scripts right now. One is about Peggy Entwistle. Now, you being from California and knowing the California thing, do you know who Peggy Entwistle is?
Oh, I know. Why do I know the name?
She was a very famous person, but not for acting. She made herself, to this day, she's very famous for being the first woman to jump off the top of the H in Hollywood. Back in it was just before I think it was like 1930, something like that. It was around the time of the crash.
Before it became like a thing.
Yeah, and to this day, people who walk in their dogs in the area or go on the trails and walk, they still see her spirit. And they reported her to the police where she's still wearing the same kind of clothing they wore back then. She smiles at them,
that's a fun story.
And disappears. So I'm writing that, and then I also have another one in mind too that, you know how they made the movie The Titanic. Well, no one has touched on the movie The Edmund Fitzgerald. Do you know that story?
Yeah,
Gordon.
Isn't there a song about that too?
Yeah,
Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah.
Yep. He sang the song, Emmett Fitzgerald, and it was such an amazing story. And I looked it up and everything, and it fell to the sea's depths just like the Titanic, because it was not well built. It wasn't built enough to hold the capacity and go through the storms that it did. So that's the other one that I want to write. So
that's great. You got a couple of great stories there.
Yeah, but Vince, listen to you. You know, it's almost like I feel like if it was talking to you in a room and you were saying the same things, your aura would be so crazy vibrant and lit up while you're talking about these scripts that you're writing. And the thing that struck me while we were doing while I was listening to Dax, and you talking, was that like, okay, it's the containers. It's like working for Pepsi, working for, these canned companies. It's like that's a container. It's not the contents. What are you doing for the contents? The contents of you. What brings your soul alive. So it lights up when you're talking about this writing. You follow that. Do that. Do it.
Yeah. I definitely am going to put my first thought though is I need to get because the Coke job pays really well, but I've got a car payment. I've got because I got a new car before I got fired from Pepsi. So, and I've got my rent. My wife can't work anymore because she's her health is shot. She can't see. She's legally blind. So everything I do between my working and then having to run her errands for her and everything. So it's a lot on my shoulders right now. And then on top of that, she's got a situation going on with her breast. Her breast is swollen up to twice the size that it used to be, and it's like hard as rock. And we don't know what's going on with that. So it's we've got a lot to
find out. Yeah, that's a lot. And you got to find out, and something, at the same time, look for ways that, you can't work yourself into the ground. There's only so many hours out of the day. There's got to be ways to like alleviate some of that pressure too, Yeah. And you can escape some of that, just mentally and emotionally by just getting into your writing when you have the time,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Well, thanks for the call, Vincent.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good luck with all of that. And, of course, if you need us, we're here. You can call in. If we don't get to your call today, remember that you can call into Catherine's show on Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then next Saturday, Mary will be back on with her There's a Rock for That. And Sunday, you can call in on Mother's Day as well and talk to Sharona. So there's a lot of opportunities to call in if you need some more help. And then also, of course, as we mentioned before, you can book a session with Mary. You can go over to her page, mary.thetarotguild.com. You can go over to my page, dax.thetarotguild.com. It's DAX, folks. Dax, not Dex. Okay. dax.thetarotguild.com. And you can book sessions with us as well. We're going to be able to take maybe one more call here. Who's been waiting the longest? Looks like area code 856. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Rosemaria from New Jersey.
Hi, Rosemaria.
How are you?
How's it going? Good.
Good. Getting there.
Oh. What do you want to look at? What do you want us to look at? What's going on?
Either friendship or with long-term relationship, with traveling, staying, or financial. Either one.
People. Right.
Well, let's narrow this down, to like a more specific question, Mary, so we can, otherwise we're not going to be able to get through it here. What do you really want to know, Rosemaria? There's got to be a burning question that you really want to know the answer to.
A long-term relationship. That's coming in for the better, staying and traveling and staying there. Does that make sense?
So you want to know if one's coming in?
Right.
Okay, hang on for a second here. Did I go first last time, or did you go first? I can't remember.
I did, so it's your turn.
It's all me. Okay, let's see what we're getting here. Hold on a second. I want to... Sorry. It's not cooperating here. Let's see what I'm getting here with these cards. Okay, so it looks like oh gosh, I thought that was somebody else, but that's not. That's you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to evaluate this, Mary. And I thought I saw someone coming in, but then I looked closer, and it's like, no, this is Rose Maria. It's the Queen of Swords. And so this is what I'm getting. Like, the feeling I'm getting is everything that's going on with this is dealing with what's in Rose Maria's mind. Does that make sense, Mary?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff surrounding this is, okay, so 5 of Cups, 9 of Swords. All right. I really feel like her focus is on previous relationships, the way things have gone, not being super satisfied, the current lack, things like that. When I did it as a yes no is somebody coming in, like I said, I thought for a second, but then no. Okay, so now I'm looking at, and it's no. Okay, so 4 out of 5 no's on that. So what does that mean? That means that the focus needs to be on you. In fact, the central focus card in the very center is that Queen of Swords. That's you. That's you. Okay? You need to work on that. The Four of Swords is talking about taking a step back from the big picture. And it's not so much, going out, finding folks, dating, that whole thing, finding the right person. It's almost as if the cards are saying, yeah, but you're not ready yet. Okay, so you need to take a step back from it, evaluate the whole situation, and work on yourself is what I'm getting. What about you, Mary? Do you have any insights?
The swords thing, yeah, is prominent. I've got the ace of swords and the 10 of swords. So it's like the whole gamut. The whole gamut of all those of all those thoughts, from the first ace to the last 10, and the 10 is hovering over. It's really weird, based on these cards. It's almost like saying, like, when you get to the point where you look in the mirror and you see it's just how great you are, just how beautiful you are, just how giving and nurturing and kind and loving that you are. When you make that shift out of that swords energy into the last card that I have is the Queen of Pentacles, that's when the long-term relationship's going to come along. It's not like there's a lack of, suitable partners out there. There's not a lack of people that would enjoy being with you at all. But you've got to be able to let go of whatever. It felt like a betrayal in some way, because the 10 of Swords often makes it feel like, I put everything into it and I got stabbed in the back, But when you can look yourself and no longer see that that pain or that worry or concern, and you see that this beautiful person that everybody, would love to have in their life, that's when you're going to find that partner that you can go and travel and do all kinds of wonderful adventures with. That's what I'm getting.
I hope that helps you out, Rosemaria. We're at the end of the show here. We got to run, but good advice, Mary. Good advice. What do you see in the mirror? Yep.
Yeah, it's like in this deck that I have the Seven of Pentacles card, and it's like literally depicts a woman sitting there looking at herself in the mirror and seeing a different version of herself.
And in this Grand Lux version of the Queen of Swords, which is right in the center there, which is Rosemaria, it's not your typical depiction like from Waite Smith, for instance. She's face on, where normally it's a sideways view. She's facing to the right. And the other aspect is this queen is beautiful. When you get to that point where you look in the mirror and you see what other people see, and you start putting that out, that's when it attracts in what you're seeking. It's not, we say this often on the show, it's not chasing down the right person. It's not all about them. It's more about you. And you have to match the energy of what you want to attract in. You have to figure out the type of person, the type of relationship, and then you need to be exuding, putting out that vibration and that energy, that love. You got to be putting out the love that you want to attract in. And then it just all falls into place then. So, yeah, the tarot, Mary gave us exactly what she needed to hear now. And that's what we love about it, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Yay. So, we are at the end of the show.
Yes, we are.
Fun. Great show, everybody. And I'm taking a weekend off because Mary's doing the show next week, but I'm definitely going to tune in because we love James Rickliffe.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And again, send me your questions. Go to mary@thetarotguild.com. Just email me your big spiritual, philosophical question that you want us to answer using a spiritual, philosophical tarot book. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I haven't gotten to talk to James in so long. It's like I'm almost tempted to call into the show just so I can ask one of those questions and talk to James.
Yeah.
He's great.
Absolutely. He's fun.
Awesome. Well, I hope to see, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'm going to try to do some, we haven't been doing lives this month. This month has been ridiculous how busy it's been. All kinds of health things going on, that I won't bog you all down with. But I'm going to try to get back to doing some lives in May, And so even though I'm not on the radio for the next 2 weeks, you'll see me pop on a live. So you definitely want to join our group, the Tarot Guild group, on Facebook. And join the website. It's free to join the website, tarotguild.com. Just click sign up at the top of any page and join us on there. We're well over 500 people on the website now, and it's our brand new website. And then also the live workshops. I was in the chat room talking with them in there, and Charlotte was talking about how she keeps forgetting, and I said, attending live, it is so much fun. It's a bunch of us tarot lovers getting together and experiencing a topic and talking about it and talking with each other. It's just a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you all at one of those real soon. We've got Sharona's Tarot Magic coming up real shortly. All righty. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks, Mary, for being here.
Thanks, Dax. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, John Boy.